I've liked Jayson Tatum out of the get-go. I remember watching him at Duke and just seeing the potential there. Just the athleticism, the skill, everything looked like a perfect blend of a guy who's going to be a star in the NBA, and it's turned out pretty all right for Jayson Tatum. We've seen him in the All-Star game a few times. We've seen him go toe-to-toe with LeBron in the playoffs, and I think he's a very special player right now. The question is, what's his ceiling? We don't know what the NBA is going to look like in 10 years, but Tatum is a very young guy. He's only 23 right now, and I would say he's an elite basketball player with a massive, massive upside. The question is, will he ever be the best player in the game? And if not, will he ever be at least a top 3 player in the NBA?
No. I mean, very simply, no. I don't see, he's only 23 and there's a lot of upside, but there's a lot of young basketball players that are really good in the NBA right now. The average NBA player hits their prime at the age of 27.7 technically, whatever the 0.7 means. I don't know if they're going months or days on that statistic. But here's a list of players that are under the age of 27, so technically haven't hit their prime yet. Giannis Antetokounmpo is 26. Just came off Finals MVP, championship run, 2-time MVP. You have Nikola Jokic, last year's MVP. You have Trae Young, who just took the 5th seed Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals and took out the 76ers on the way there. You have Luka Doncic, who's 22, and he has a bunch of upside. I'd say he has more upside than Tatum does. You have Ja Morant, who's a human highlight reel in Memphis. If he can ever get healthy and get back on the court, Zion Williamson is a force to be reckoned with. He's 21. Karl-Anthony Towns is 26. And the Timberwolves are playing a lot better this year. Devin Booker's 25, and the Suns just went to the finals. Jaylen Brown, his teammate, who's only 25. And at times, part of me questions if maybe Jaylen Brown's the actual best player when it comes to being a winning team for the Celtics. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 23. He's shown extreme progress in his game. Donovan Mitchell's only 25. And the Utah Jazz are a consistent top seed in the Western Conference. They don't show up in the playoffs as of right now, but when Tatum's been the first option, they haven't really shown up as much either. The best record with Tatum, they haven't even hit 50 wins yet in the season. The best they've went is 48-24. Last year they were 36-36, and right now they're only 12-10, which is just a game above 500. And not to forget LaMelo Ball either, who's making highlight play after highlight play in Charlotte, and he's only 20 years old. So I can't sit here for certain and say that he's going to be better than all of these guys at some point, or if he's going to even be better than all but 2 of these guys at this point. There's so much growth in the young guys, and there's going to be so many more young guys coming in that become stars. And you can't forget about the stars that just defy father time. I mean, LeBron is doing what no one else has ever done. He's still a top player in this league. He's still better than Tatum. I mean, it's just things of that nature that you can't really expect, so to speak, but you know it's probably going to happen at some point. So, no, I don't see him being the best player in the NBA at any point in his career, and I don't see him cracking the top 3 at some point either.
I'm not putting a guarantee that he does. I think we could see an MVP type of year from Tatum in the future. Look, I had in my notes that it's going to be tough to do. Obviously, it's tough to be in the NBA in general, but to be a top 3 player, it's tough. And I put down in my notes Giannis and Jokic because those dudes are 2 top 5 players and they're only 26. We still could have 8 years of dominance out of both those guys. It's going to be tough to do. I put Steph, LeBron, KD. They're all great right now, and they still have stuff left in the tank. But other guys you mentioned, I would take Jayson Tatum over Jaylen Brown right now. Cat, you can make an argument Cat is better than Tatum right now. I'm not sure about that one. But I would take Jayson Tatum over Zion, Ja, Shai, and LaMelo right now and into the future. I think Shai, I love Shai, but Jayson Tatum is that dude. How many guys do you know with their own potato chip? 1. Jayson Tatum. No other NBA players except Anthony Davis are doing that. Jayson Tatum is a very special player, and I think there's just a lot of room between where he's at in his ceiling. I'm not putting a guarantee. I don't even know if I think he will be a top 3 player. It's just a discussion worth having. He's a very special player. He's got all the build right now and the makeup and the floor right now to be legendary. He's just a naturally great player. Sometimes it just looks effortless, the stuff he's doing. Look, Luka might have the edge on him, and he's a year younger. I'll give you that one. But who knows nothing is guaranteed in the NBA. That's why there's a discussion of whether he's going to be top 3 ever is tough to have, because who knows what's going to happen to him next year or the year after. Never know. Nothing is guaranteed in life, and nothing is guaranteed in the NBA. I still think we could see his top 3. I think we see a season where it looks like he's the best player and has the MVP year, but it doesn't. Just because you win the MVP doesn't mean you're the best player. Otherwise, LeBron would have 15 MVPs.
Exactly.
I don't think he'll ever be the best, but I'm never going to put limits on Jayson Tatum. But it's going to be very, very, very tough. One point that you didn't bring up that I want to talk about. We talked about the guys that exist in the NBA right now. Who knows who's going to be in the NBA in 5 years? There's a young generation probably sitting in algebra right now, freshman year, that could be stars. Imoni Bates right now in Memphis. He looks like he has upside. It's tough to say he'll ever be better than Jayson Tatum or even pan out in the league. But Luka, nobody heard about Luka 8 years ago, and look at him. It's tough because there's guys that are young right now. Victor Wembanyama in France.
He's cool. I don't know if anybody ever wants to. He's the best shot blocking prospect of all time right now.
He's crazy. I think he's clear cut number 1 for next year. And I think that's going to be even more competition. He's not even in the NBA right now, and he's not going to be in the NBA next year. But that's still competition for Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's just so many different possibilities that Tatum won't be the best player and won't be the top 3 that it's hard to say that he will be or even to consider it. It's I don't know. There's just so many more possibilities than him being top 3. And I do think Luke is better than him. I think Luke is better than him right now, and I think Luke is going to be better than him in the future. But here's my question for you with Jayson Tatum. His game has slowly grown, but outside of shooting the ball more efficient, what more are we looking for him to do?
More.
What
it's the Kobe commercial. More.
But what does that more look like is what I'm asking you. Because he's already averaging 24, 25 a game?
He could average 30.
You think so? You think he's a 30 a game guy?
Not right now. Give him 3 years. He's 23, man.
I know he's only 23, and honestly, I thought he was older when I was looking him up.
Because it feels like he's been in the NBA for 4.
He
7
has
years.
been.
It feels like he's been in the NBA for 7 years because rookie year, 19 years old, going toe to toe with the GOAT in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that was a fun series, but that also he didn't lead that team.
He wasn't the leader, but he was the one guarding number 23.
That doesn't mean you're.
I'm not saying he was a leader,
Okay.
but that was a defining moment in the NBA that season, and that's why it feels like he's been around for long because we've been hearing his name for a while.
Okay, I see what you're saying there, and yeah, I would agree with that then. But no, I can't see him being top 3. There's just so many more avenues, and like you said, there's so many more young guys that could come up in the future and be better than him. So I mean, if I'm going to answer this question, if I want to be right, the odds are he's not going to be the best, and he's not going to be top 3.
I know our boy Chilltown Hoops would beg to differ. That's where I got the idea for this discussion because he said Tatum's going to pass Luka in the next few years. I've always liked Jayson Tatum's potential. I think he's still got potential and he got stuff left in the tank. I don't know where we see him. I hope we see him elite. He is elite right now in my opinion, but I hope we see him continue to get better because I'm a fan.